Greetings! Today we'll be viewing a 3 versus 3 on the map Green Ace Extended. Don't remember the teams. Let's speed this up a bit. Where's my commander here? Alright. So it looks like we have myself, top left, top middle Twilight, top right Captain OCD versus bottom left Magpie, bottom center Setin, and bottom right is Destruction. I have started with a vehicle plant. We've got some energy coming out from Twilight, and we've got a K-Bot lab coming out from Captain OCD. Down south here, we've got Magpie starting air, Setin starting vehicles, and Destruction getting some economy going. Got a few scouts going out to just get some early warning. I believe they were just set to patrol like the center. Look for other incoming scouts, and we do have Destruction going vehicles as well. We've got AKs pumping out from Captain OCD here. Also sending his constructors out to expand his metal there. Trying to get my energy under control. I'm kind of bouncing between no energy and some energy. It wasn't the best start for me. I think I tried to do too much. We have engaged Setin Scout here. And we've got Captain OCD engaging Destruction here. Doesn't look like he managed to get a few wins. And I was hoping to come over and finish off that extractor, which I did. Nice. We've got some scouts coming in on Setin. Unfortunately, right into 3 scouts, a commander, and an exploiter. The fact he got that far was amazing, honestly. Big AK push coming down. We've just got lots of AKs coming out from OCD here. Twilight's getting a few scouts down towards Setin. Haven't really engaged Magpie at all. I was hoping to come through to the left, but I did run into his commander there. I need to. He doesn't really have much. He's got his commander. I mean, I can't do a lot of damage, but knowing he was there at this point would have been nice. AK's coming out. We've got Constructor coming out from Destruction here, trying to rebuild his base. He did get a Shodan out, couple Shodans, which will really help stop those AKs. We've got an Exploiter going up from Setin. I am pushing with quite a few scouts here, but unfortunately it looks like I'm just running straight into the commander, so most, if not all, probably will die. Almost. Oh. No, I almost made it down there. I did get some info. We've got some scouts coming up from Setin. Looks like he managed to get a few constructors from OCD working on that metal extractor. And almost got that construction K-Bot. So close, so close. So close. We've got some winds going up and some metal makers. Shodan tearing through the AKs here. He is getting surrounded pretty quickly, though, so he'll probably fall. It also looks like he is low on energy, so he wasn't able to fire at max capacity. The Shodens do take energy to fire. These are probably exploiters. No, regular extractors. Setin's coming up to it's unfortunate I keep running into commander. If I kept moving those, I could have shot past. I probably would have just run into an exploiter and died though. If I could sneak around the side here, it'd be great, but his commander is like right up there. I did manage to get those 2 metal extractors, but I gave him what, like 120 metal back, so no big deal, I guess. Oh, maybe not that much, but about 100 or a little less, so pretty much the metal to rebuild them. 75 metal. And I don't know what happened. There it goes. Speaking of, let me speed this up a bit. So the units, what he's referring to is units in general are faster. I mean, if you didn't know, like this is normal speed, so especially scouts will be faster, but vehicles are faster. K-bots can be a little bit faster as well, and then it depends on the K-bot. Depends on the unit, but in general, all vehicles have a speed increase. Some K-bots have a speed increase as well, and units build from the factories a lot quicker, but they use more resources to do it. On average, like your T1 labs, we've got Setin pushing through with an instigator here. Luckily, I just got that LLT up and have quite a few scouts running around. But on general, your lab will take about 10 metal and like 200 to 300 energy. Somewhere around there. Suppose, I think OTA, it was like a couple metal is all they took, so you usually would guard it with cons. Now, you don't have to get that same build power. In fact, it can hurt a lot if you do it with the wrong. Nice. Twilight came in, got that Geo just before it finished building, so you'll probably get that energy storage. It's doing some pretty good damage to Setin. I need to pause. My HDMI cord is loose. 1 second. I keep losing my screen. Okay, I think I have it all worked out. Took longer than I expected. So we had Twilight here running amok through Setin's base. He actually did quite a bit of damage. Looks like he dropped Setin down to 3.4 metal coming in, which is pretty big at this point. We've got most people around the 20 mark. We've got destruction at 11. I think he's also been taking pretty heavy damage though. We've got Magpie. Magpie looks like he's doing good things. He hasn't really been hit yet. I haven't been able to get to him easily. And he's been able to set up defenses. Twilight does come in, but runs right into his commander and a light laser tower. And he does have some Banshees up to help out, which is good. Nice group of levelers and Shodens here. Ooh, didn't want to go that fast. So the levelers and Shodens will tear apart groups of K-bots. Levelers are pretty armored and they have good splash damage, and the Shodens, they're lightly armored, but they have great single target damage and fire fairly fast. With good range. So like levelers and Shodens together are a disaster for K-bots. Twilight with a huge push coming in. Nice. He got a couple solars, some winds. He got the metal extractor. He did lose a lot of that army, which is unfortunate, but that was a big hit to Setin. Maybe. It looked like a big hit. You see these levelers just tearing apart these berserkers, which are fairly strong. That's the strongest T1 K-bot you can build. Berserkers do use energy to fire, which gives them a little more damage. I think it's a 50% damage boost to use energy. Looks like I am in the air now as well, trying to help out here. We've got Magpie doing air things. He's got tons of energy down here. Tons of advanced solars. He's doing big energy things. He's bringing in about 17 metal he could use to expand and grab these, especially his arm. Especially his arm, he has Twilights. You see he's got a few, so he is starting. Good on him. Good on him, because if he just comes out here, grabs Twilights, that'd be pretty big. Honestly, if you're in a situation like this with Magpie where he hasn't really been hit, I'd probably try to put a scout up around here and expand backwards. Like, grab this one, grab this one, grab the closer ones with the Twilights first, because it'll not only cloak, so I won't notice it's there unless I'm deliberately looking or he runs out of energy, but it also radar jams. So he could easily sneak up on my front line. I do manage to get back there a little bit, get a few things. At the same time, we've got a nice tank group from Twilight here. Let me slow this down a bit. Janus, which are kind of like the Rocco version, and Flash is unfortunately for him, he chose the worst spot. It looks like he was sandwiched between two commanders, just getting D-gunned from left and right. That was very, very lucky on destruction and Setin there, because that group could have done a lot. Magpie's pretty vulnerable. Not the worst. I mean, he's got defenses up. But in comparison, I mean, I guess the commanders are just all in pretty good spots. It's hard to get in and do considerable damage. I should have tried air. Destruction doesn't look like he's got really any air defense, actually. Setin is getting some up. But I could have easily came in with air at this point. I mean, I've got all these fighters. I could have put that into gunships and done a lot of stuff with that. We do have air contesting, or I do have Magpie who could contest with air. And we've got Twilight with air now as well. Hopefully he does some better things. I think he does do better things. Nice group of gunships coming in. Shotens will tear apart gunships. Shotens are really good. He does make it back here with a single gunship, though. Manages to get quite a few wins there. Meanwhile, Lemming's really nice. Really nice option to just go in. It'll help kill stuff like the behind Dragon's Teeth and whatnot. Looks like I'm trying to do some Janus things and get rid of like the exploiter here. Possibly, I don't know. We've got K-bots coming out from Setin now as well. Didn't really get close to that. We've got, some lemmings going in on Magpie. That can be really good. That can be really good. Looks like I'm scouting for him. He does have gunships, but yeah, as you can see, they got lost. Tons of AA from Magpie here. And we got some berserkers. I do have to give him credit. Usually he builds like just straight lines, and they all go up at once. I mean, well, there's still like a lot in a single area here. That's much better than what he usually does. Because if you build them all in a line without any space, they can easily be killed by even just freedom fighters. Because everything gets focused in, like, one explosion will damage the one next to it, and it just causes a big chain reaction. Nice group of gunships coming in from Twilight here. Wrecking Destruction's back. Looks like I'm coming in as well. There are some slashers. And some fighters from Magpie. Did manage to get the constructor, but I'm pretty sure he can just get one out. Nice group up here. He's got a really nasty looking tank group. Lemmings coming in on Magpie here, but looks like Setin is moving up to try and help defend. I mean, Setin's base is really forward. Yeah. So Setin's base is pretty forward. I mean, to get to Magpie's base, you've pretty much got to go through Setin at this point. Because it's not a lot of space from, like, his advance to the wall. And I imagine he'll want to defend that a little bit better than it is right now. Tons of K-bots coming up. Looks like Magpie is... I think his fighter line goes right here, so that's lucky for me. Trying to expand forward, claim more ground. Magpie's not really grabbing much, it looks like. So I'm trying to take advantage of that. Got a huge lemming group coming in. Unfortunately, their defenses are pretty beefy. He does manage to get that exploiter, which should help. Should help a lot. He's getting a behemoth up, though. That could be really nasty, especially on a map like this in the middle. That behemoth can probably hit, like, over here and, like, over here. Like, where was that at? That behemoth probably has a range of something like this. I don't know for sure, but Lemmings versus levelers and Shogun's not really the most ideal thing in the world. We do have Pyros out from OCD, so he's got some advanced. See, missile towers like that. Let me slow down a bit. Missile towers like that, though, are really easy to take out, and they only do a third of the damage to ground. Air does in general. Any anti-air weapon does a third of the damage to ground units, so it's not really your best bet. All those fighters. It's vanished. It's like they're trying to siege our little front line right here. Tons of lemmings coming out from Twilight. He'll probably get this exploiter. I don't think he'll make it past that, though. And we've got a nice push coming from Destruction. He does have, OCD does have Pyros. We've got some lemmings coming in to intercept, so that should help. Especially since they were caught off guard. And it looks like Destruction, he's got the energy to fire. Maybe. I don't think he's got the energy to fire. It says he does, but it doesn't look like he does. Nice fighters coming out from Magpie here. Alright. Hang on. Let's take a look at everything. Because I have advanced air. Magpie is about 70-80%. 75-80% to advanced air. We do have that advanced lab from Setin. And advanced vehicles coming out from Destruction. Up here we've got the advanced K-bots from OCD and advanced vehicles from Twilight. So overall, I mean, that was pretty good. Like, we've got one person with advanced air, K-bot, and vehicle on each team. Usually you'll see a lot of the similar like advanced factories, so that's pretty good. Resource wise, I've got tons of solars. I'm getting a Moho Geo out. They're insanely cheap for what they do. 1275 metal, 68,000 energy. They give you 2,500 energy. So if you have a Geo spot, they blow up huge though. Like if this blew up, I'd probably lose all of this. I don't know. It'd blow the energy storages up, which also blow up big. I'd probably lose most of my energy. I'd be out for the count. But 2,500 energy. If you've got a Geo you can throw that on, it'll really kickstart your advanced. We've got Geos from Twilight. I don't know what I got up here. More solars. I scattered a lot of solars around, which, I mean, they have a lot of staying power. They're just the least efficient. We've tons of advanced solars back here from Twilight, and OCD's got tons of wind generators. He does have some mohos up already. Shooting down to destruction here. Let's take a look, too. We've got 62 metal coming out from OCD, doing really well with the economy there. I'm at 33. Twilight's at 9? That's not right. That's not right. Because he's got a moho or two out already. We've got 26 from Magpie, 20 from Destruction, and 24 from Setin. So OCD is doing really good if he's up at 60 already. He might be reclaiming. Probably was reclaiming something, but still doing really good. He's got a couple mohos out. We've got Destruction has taken a lot of hits, especially from air, so he's lost the back of his base. He's taken a lot of hits. He doesn't. His base is few and far in between. He's got some wins over here. He is getting some anti-air up, which is smart after what happened. Looks like Setin was actually helping out with some anti-air as well, and it's just some basic defenses. That's good on him. The back of Setin's base is also pretty sparse. He's mostly up front. He's getting a fusion up. He has a Eradicator up here for anti-air, which will take care of a lot. Fighter clouds, gunship clouds, the Eradicator and the Chainsaw is missile flak, so it does exceptionally well, especially when you have the Dragon's Teeth around it. If I send a few advanced bombers at something like that, it probably won't last long. Something like that, you'd want Mercuries or Screamers, which are T2, or like Sams are really good single target damage. Obviously, if you're T2, you got Flackers as well. He's got the Solars here. He's got the Geo down there. And that's pretty much all he's got for energy. But if it's working, it's working. So he's bringing in 1175, Destruction 1198. I'm bringing in nothing, apparently, 300. We've got OCD at 1,000. Twilight 380. Magpie 200. Magpie's got tons of advanced solars down here. He's got to have more than 200 energy. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to ignore all those energy values I said. Let's get back to it, though. Trying to scout, see what they got, find targets for bombing. Probably got a bomber somewhere, maybe. Yeah, there we go. I think, yeah, I was trying to get the behemoth. We've got Setin putting up some anti-air and Magpie flying around to try and help divert that. Up here we've got some Lemmings being queued up and a small group of flashes from Twilight. OCD is pumping out Mortys. Really good. Mortys and Pyros together could be great. If you do have like lots of Mortys, the what is it called, the Voyeur? Yeah, the Voyeur, the radar K-bot, is crucial to maximizing their effectiveness because it'll give you the line of sight that they need to use their full range. Also radar. It's like I'm trying to get some, well, I'm getting some stilettos up to try and EMP their defenses. We've got Reapers coming out from Destruction here. Also really nice. They're flame tanks. They work great on K-bots. They're anti-swarm, essentially. They work great on a lot of things, but K-bots fall pretty quick to them. Sounds like that behemoth is up. So that's probably going to show. Let's take a look at the range here. Looks like I had some slashes, so the range on this thing... About at that metal spot. So he's really close to being able to show me out. In fact, he could probably hit those solars if he just like targets right here. I'm sure some stray shots will knock all that stuff out. That's unfortunately. Tons of fighters coming up from Magpie, really helping to protect that behemoth. Looks like I'm working on that too. I'm trying to get some hawks up to counter those freedom fighters, which works pretty well. I'm getting some Moho Metal Makers up since I have a lot of excess energy from that Moho Geo. We've got a nice group of Pyros, Berserkers. We've got some defenses going up from Twilight here. I'm not really doing advanced defense things. I just have some light stuff up. It's got his Mortys back here. Lots of slashers for AA. He is making Big Berthas somewhere. I didn't see where that was, and I don't know. I do not know. Come in, just erase these freedom fighters. Pulled back. Very smart move from Magpie. Looks like he's going to charge me. Maybe not the smartest move. He does manage to get most of my hawks, but at what cost? At what cost? Oh, I think this is it. No, that's the radar. Oh, there it is. Making Big Berthas there. Took me a while to find that. And we've got Mortys and Pyros, some Jethros for anti-air, some Berserkers just for hard-hitting K-bots. Coming up to Ares, too, for anti-air. And Setin's really pushing me. He's getting rid of what little front line I had. It's funny. Once you go advanced... like, this front line was enough to stop them before, and it's just... It's, with the right units, it's so easy to just blow a hole right through. All I have, unfortunately, are Jeffies, which are not... they're not really your unit of choice when you're fighting Pyros and Ares and Berserkers. But it worked. It worked. I think it mostly worked because his behemoth was shooting at me, though. It was very lucky on my part. Twilight coming in with lemmings. Really great right there because I mean, they'll blow them up. The Mortys aren't going to stop them before they get there. Nice group here. We've got, what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9... almost 10 Reapers, a few Shodins. Was hoping he didn't have AA. I mean, not a lot of it. He does have anti-nukes. Getting up some fusions. Setin getting up some deep cores here. Looks like he's already got one up. This is a really mean group. He could probably do a lot of damage. Well, he could. I feel like they'd mostly cancel each other out, though. If they all push together, I think we'd be screwed. Magpie's what? Arm? He could easily build a few stilettos. Stilettos are insanely cheap for what they do. Looks like I'm getting some blades up. So stilettos, they're 255 metal, 32,000 energy. Really fast, and they EMP. They're EMP bombers. if Magpie produced some stilettos, some phoenixes are nice too. But, I mean, in comparison, we've got 321 metal, 10,000 energy. There you go. I just happened to get on a stiletto. See, it just locks down groups of these. If he built 3 or 4 of those, I don't know, 5, came up here and just bombed these clusters, probably wouldn't make it past that. But he could easily push forward with the help of Setin here. Like, him and Setin could push on one flank and do tons of damage. Whether it was on me or on OCD, they could have gotten through either one, honestly. Probably better chance at getting through. Over here, they could have gone through all that. I mean, these really won't do much to Reapers. Those will disappear very quickly. I don't know. Either one of us would have fell pretty quickly. He does have a lot of anti-air. It only does a third, as I said. So, while, you know, this many SAMs will do a lot of damage, it's not going to stop, like, a big group of Reapers like that. Pumping out little stuff. Meaningless. Little hammers. They're hiding behind the hill, though. So that's kind of nice. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, that's unfortunate. I should have tried to bomb that. I don't know. I was trying to do bomber things, but it was a little rough. That's why I got the blades up to try and... The blades are more for defense, honestly. They just do a lot of damage. Looks like we've got Mercuries up here. We've got some Mercuries coming up from Twilight. Really smart, especially considering they have advanced air. We've got a Thunderstorm up there. I've almost got an Ambusher up. Nice group of Janus from Twilight. Tons of bombers coming in. Luckily, they all stopped and decided to land. As they kept going, that could have really hurt. I probably would have lost the Ambusher. I don't think it was done yet. Got a fairly big push coming in. Trying to get this blade in to take care of some of these cans. It's pretty risky though. Hammers falling behind just a little bit. Didn't really make it very far. And they all got bombed. And they all got bombed. Big Bertha going up. My hope was that that wouldn't happen. I was hoping to just come up and shell stuff out, but no, didn't work at all. This is a really mean group. I think they could end us with this group if they played it right. Because I mean, an advanced bomber. I mean, we've got Mercuries up here, so that'd be a little bit harder. But an advanced bomber, just one would take out a good deal of pyros. You just need to blow a couple up, and then they blow up pretty large themselves. Maybe he's gonna do it. Maybe he's gonna do it. I want to see this happen. I want to see this happen. Oh, he's going for the berserkers. Oh. Yeah. Erased that group. Erased that group. So this would actually be an ideal time for destruction to push. All those pyros just got lost. Those Berserkers won't hold the candle to the Reapers. Mortys also really won't do anything. The Dragon's Teeth behind the pulverizers, the Reapers can shoot right through. The flames will just roll right through them. Destruction just needs to push, honestly. Huge group of Janus. Oh my god. And Panthers. The Panthers are nice because, I mean, they're relatively cheap. Like a couple hundred, 250 or something. Where's my cursor? 220. 220 metal. They have a lightning weapon, which is good for, like, splash damage, kind of. It's supposed to be like a chain reaction kind of deal. But it has, like, small splash, and then they also have AA missiles to take care of flames. So this is a really good group to push against Magpie. The unfortunate part is, like I said, we only have so much room to get to Magpie with Setin up there. If we had coordinated, I think we also could have done real good. Because with that group, like if that group went in with all these Mortys, and then I could provide air support against like bombers from Magpie, Hawks, and whatnot, I think we could have taken Magpie out. Like if we went with that big group of Janus, it would have been amazing. Because Twilight lost all his units, but you see there's not much left. There's defenses, but he's got like 50 Mortys here, which would just destroy defenses. I would have been able to provide line of sight. So this is like one of those strange things, like both teams have the firepower to end the game. They're just not using it correctly. I'm not going to say end the game, but to do considerable damage. I mean, you see, like, this isn't even, like, a huge group here. And made it considerably far. The only real thing stopping us is the Behemoth, which I forgot about. So the Mortys might have gotten obliterated. But on the same note, if you could get units back here, that Behemoth is absolutely shelling all this AA. It'd be a bad day for Magpie if we slipped by. Oh, I think I have a fort turret there putting flackers up to stop his patrol line there. We've got pyros going in. Battle of the flamethrowers. You could see, even with all those pyros, they got just erased with the Reapers. If he had pushed when Magpie bombed out all those pyros and berserkers, I think he could have done considerable damage. Because now he got pretty much all those pyros back and even more berserkers, followed by just the onslaught of warriors here. Got some pyros coming up to take care of that flak. I'm trying to get little fort laser to stop that. Nice group of penetrators. Oh, this is deadly right here. Trying to paralyze this stuff for him. Magpie is coming in with some advanced bombers, though. quite a few of them, sadly. I don't think this push will get the behemoth there. No, we have the commander coming in too. I still feel like it accomplished quite a bit. We got that Moho exploiter, which was... That's a lot of firepower, honestly, to try to get past. We got the Punisher. Now it's just the Behemoth, and we've got a Gantry going up there. Or, well, rather, the Gantry is up. Let's take a look around. Let's take a look around real quick. Tons of energy back here from OCD. Tons of AA, so that would make it pretty hard for... like air to sneak back and sabotage all of that. He's got regular Moho mines, so there's no real exploiters to worry about. He does have a toaster up, a firestorm, which a couple firestorms would do a lot of damage, but those flames will roll through anything in front of it, including your own units, so you do have to be careful with putting them in the back like this, because that would... They also have great range, like... Yeah, so, I mean, their range is, like, right there. So it would literally kill all of this stuff. So you do have to be careful when you do that. But that is a lot of firepower, figuratively and literally. He's got 3 of them up there. One in the back. We've got some defenses here from Twilight. He's got an Annihilator, a Thunderstorm, and a Toaster on the front. Behind fort gates. I've got not a lot, honestly. A Beamer. I've got a Thunderstorm and a Toaster, which is, you know, it's going to stop a lot of stuff. I've also got the Flackers up here to try and get rid of patrolling planes. Looks like they did get that fort turret. In terms of labs, I haven't really done anything else. I do have some advanced fighters up here. But still rocking the same labs. Twilight pretty much is as well. And I think OCD also is. He's getting a behemoth of his own up, though, which is nice. Down here from Destruction, we've got lots of energy, all scattered around. He's getting lots of AA up. We've got those defenses up from Twilight. They do have some Screamers. He's got a Doomsday machine up, which is super helpful. Getting some deep cores up. Tons of winds down here. A Super Fusion. From Setin, we've got same stuff back here. A couple deep cores. Getting a second Behemoth up. Be great for defense. Also great. Well, if we make it up here, honestly, that could be real deadly. If we make it up here, it could just wreck all that probably. He does have a gantry up though, which is pretty big. They also have that Bertha. I think we got the Bertha. We got the Bertha, it looks like. I didn't even realize. And Magpie's just got his air and his advanced air. Probably has attack nuke on the front line. Can hit the gantry. I was making attack nuke of my own. We've got a nice little pyro push coming up. Probably won't get very far. Looking at the things we've got. I love the Thunderstorm. Such a cool turret. Trying to charge forward with some stumpies. Didn't really work out. Looks like I am getting a Spirit up. I think Destruction paused to go get food. And it's done. Oh no. Now he did. Oop. We've got nukes going out from Twilight. Looks like they are protected though. I did see an anti in my space. I don't know if I've seen one anywhere else. We do have Razorbacks, Cargonites rather, coming out from Setin. Honestly though, that amount of Bulldogs, not a big deal. Behemoth almost got taken out. Very close. Looks like he's getting a gargoyle up. We've got OCD helping out with some berserkers, charging his group. Oh no, that's destruction charging in. Really trying to assault this. Destruction is countering though, and losing most of my stuff. And there's a gargoyle up. Basically a rolling doomsday machine. Which is a real bummer. If we could have got that behemoth out, getting that gantry would have been difficult, but would have been a lot easier. Anti-launched antis. I think both Twilight and myself are launching nukes at them now. Where is his anti? Where did I see anything? So he covers pretty much him and Setin. And, you know, while I wasn't looking, of course, we got the behemoth. I'm pretty sure I used the spirit. Now I think I'm going after the gantry. Try to paralyze it so it can't make anything. Oh, what did I say about that behemoth? Remember what I said about that behemoth? Now it's launching stuff up here. That Doomsday is valiantly protecting Setin's base. We do have Timmy's going up from destruction here. Some Hawks coming out from Magpie to try and intercept the air. Almost. Looks like oh yeah, he's got some freakers on it repairing. He's got some freakers on it. Sorry about that. I'm back. Where were we? Let's take a look at resources while we have this downtime. We've got myself, 82. We've got OCD, 101. And Twilight at 128. I am lacking in the metal department. We've got Setin at 50. Destruction at 144. Magpie at 69. Quick math, we've got about 250, 260 on their side. And on our side, we've got about 300. Did I do that math wrong? I don't think so. We've got 150 destruction. I know, I'm terrible at quick maths. 150, and then 70, that's 220, 270. We got about 270 from them and about 300 from us. So, fairly even, honestly. Fairly even. And I unpause, I don't know what's going on. We got Berserkers sieging down here. We've got some Sumos coming up, but they do have the Doomsday machine. Oh yeah, we were really trying to get that gantry out, but they're repairing it. Doomsday machine is protecting. Magpie's getting up a nuke silo. I have no idea if I have antis. I better have antis if I have a nuke. You should never make a nuke silo without making antis. But, you know, it happens. So Twilight pushing this gargoyle. It's not going to be easy to take out. Gargoyles are pretty mean. He did have the penetrator, but he should have kind of kept back. is taking some pretty heavy damage though. And I have a Juno. Uh-oh. 2 spirits and some hawks from Magpie here. Almost got the gargoyle. Don't know if he's got anything to repair. We've got maulers coming out from Setin. Looks like we've got Magpie repairing the gargoyle. Unfortunately, the Juno can't kill all the bees when they're stacked like that, so we were so close. Getting a Juggernaut out, that will help out a bunch with defense and sieging. We've also got a few Timmies up, a couple Timmies up from destruction here, and then we've got the Maulers up somewhere from Setin. Somewhere, unless they died already. There they are. So we're taking pretty heavy Birth of Fire right now. LRPCs are doing the damages. They're doing all the damages. And that gargoyle is fully repaired. You hate to see it. Unless you're Setin, then you love to see it. This Magpie coming in like a teammate should there. Another huge group of like Reapers and Shodins here. A little bit harder to push now, but I still feel like they could do it. We don't really have many things to contest that. We do have nukes, tactical nukes, which could help, but only if our own antis don't intercept them. Still trying to... They all have anti-nukes. They all just sent one at me. Did manage to get that Bertha. With what? I don't know. I don't know what just killed that Bertha. Trying to walk over the hill doesn't work. Tried it before, nothing's happening with that. Looks like OCD has had his base ravaged by these Berthas here. We're taking pretty heavy fire. He's down to 35 metal. He was just up, what, 100? The 100, I think it was. Magpie trying to buy himself an extra second to read something. Setting the speed to -1. Still trying to hit them with nukes. Oh, nice. We've got tons of Lugers coming out from Twilight. I cannot remember anybody's name. And destruction did crash. I forgot about that. I don't know what happened here. I don't think they were able to take his stuff. So that was a bummer, because it was turned out to be a pretty good game. It still was a good game. I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. We've got Setin being sneaky up here. I didn't even know he did this. Oh, nice use of scuttles. Yeah, that's a bummer. They would have won right there. I guarantee Setin does that. That large tank group that destruction had comes in, we would have been done for, I think. I'm pretty sure that would have been it. I mean, look at these Hawks. They come in, get rid of that Moho Exploiter. I mean, that's quite a bit of firepower right there, but what's another scuttle? Looks like he's got more. Oh no, he's got gantry units. They would have won. Absolutely. They could have came in with Destruction's group. These gargoyles probably could have. Juggernaut's probably there for more for defense, honestly. Lasts a little bit longer. But they could have just blown right through there, especially after opening that hole. Looks like he scuttled this stuff too. I don't know if he just did that or what. That might have just been the gargoyles, honestly. But the Annihilator's down. We do have the Toaster back here, but it's not really doing much. One gargoyle's about to down. Yep. I'm trying to get blades out to help, but it's not going fast enough. Trying to get some Annihilators up to help defend against this stuff. Looks like we have Berthas now. Somebody's got a Bertha. There we go. Avatar is coming out from Twilight. Twilight has gantry. Gargoyles are down. Hawks are raining in to kill everything. Nice push from... They absolutely could have had that. That was the most unfortunate timing for that crash. And for the dot take not working. I mean, you look at... These are just instigators. And they made it that far. He had like 20 Reapers in the gun. I'm not saying it would have been end game, but we would have lost a lot of stuff. This would have been pretty nasty, but it looks like they're all damaged, so he's repairing them. He probably doesn't know about it, but you can make nano repair turrets. So you get a nano platform, and you can make little repair turrets, which... They don't have a lot of build power, but it doesn't matter when you're repairing. So you just kind of put them around, set them to patrol, and it takes care of stuff like this for you. Really helpful. Really helpful. Really cheap, too. They are incredibly cheap. What are they? Plus 50 metal... 1,000 energy. Platforms like 20 metal. So really worth using. We've got tons of blade wings coming out from Setin here, which will help if we don't bring anti-air to stop them and kind of push. So it looks like he's kind of switched to being a little more defensive after they lost, because they also lost those Timmies. They did get my Juno. Think with a Spirit. Could have been Hawks, though. I'm not sure. I don't see a Spirit anywhere. Got Warriors and Stumpies going in. Got an Advanced Fusion going up. That should help out. We've got a Bolo coming out from Twilight. So many pit bulls. I have no hope of making it through that with T1. We've got Bertha Walls going up from OCD. Smart move, especially considering he's lost 70% of his base to Berthas, it looks like. Berthas and Scuttles, at least. They do have Maulers up again from Setin here, so those will really help out. Still trying to nuke. Probably won't be able to outdo their antis, though. I'm getting an advanced vehicle plant up. We've got some more sneaky Setin stuff going on. Let's watch this from his point of view. Sorry, lots of pausing today. I do apologize, but let's continue to watch him navigate these scuttles through treacherous lands. Oh, that was super lucky on my part. There's a lot going on. Looks like he stopped. That was pure luck. I uncovered that. Getting some K-Bot labs up, it looks like, just for extra units. Don't know. Oh, they're shooting at the scouts. I wonder if they took any friendly fire from that. Big scouting party coming. Big scouting party. Don't know what they marked. Easy blow up, baby. Wonder if they do blow it up. He's got the Mauler still. He's probably gonna focus on that, so that'll be a bummer. Got a big force coming though. We got Fleas and Warriors leading the charge with 2 Bolos and 1 Interion with some Flackers. I really think had Destruction not crashed though, that probably would have been their game. We could have taken advantage of his crash and charged down here, but it's kind of unsportsmanlike. Huge AK group coming in. AKs and Instigators coming in on OCD here. I don't think they're going to make it past those defenses, though. And then they run right into the cans, unfortunately. And Gremlins. So, I mean, they made it a considerable distance, honestly. All my Fleas and Warriors are gone, but we've got Bolos coming in from Twilight, and I've got Gremlins coming to assassinate Magpie's defenses. Or his metal, rather. And I think that's pretty much it. After we get rid of Magpie there, it's pretty easy to just collapse on top of Setin. I do think it would have been interesting to see. I really wish... it's a bummer that Destruction crashed. Because that was turning up to be a really good game. It was a good game, but I think the outcome could have been very different had he not left, or had they just been able to take his units. It would have been really interesting to see how that played out. Because, I mean, he did have defenses up here. It's not like we were completely helpless, but especially after that scuttle attack, they could have easily pushed through, and that could have done a lot of damage. I mean, without that push, look at... they lost the Timmies, too, but without that push, I mean, look at how much damage he took from those Timmies and just... being attacked. He does have gantry up now. Just doing gremlin things. I'm sure they're gonna get changed one of these patches. I'll have fun with them while I can. They are really good. They need to be changed a little bit. I don't know what the change to make is. They just recently became more explosive, so that helps. I don't know if that's what made them good or what, but probably But there's that. Just make them a little less or more easily detected could help, because right now they'll literally run into you and they won't cloak. It's like they run into you and there's a 10% chance to decloak. Not literally, but that's what it seems like. But they're so clumsy. I mean, they're tanks. So, I mean, it was done that way because they weren't really worth using before. Now they're just too good. We've got a Juggernaut versus the Bolo. Or the Yavik, rather. Setin's, he's got a Krogoth up. Like, he's not doing terrible. Considering the circumstances. He's doing pretty darn well. He's still shelling us. Got some Krog cars going out. Magpie rebuilding. Oh, Juggernaut versus Krogoth. Juggernauts are beefy. Look at that damage he's taking from a Krogoth, man. Juggernauts are mean. They're incredibly slow, but man. 3,600 metal, 310,000 energy. I don't know how much a Krogoth was. That's not what I wanted. Krogoth is 10,000 metal and like millions of energy. Juggernauts are like beefy. They don't have as much firepower, but whew, they do some damage. And I think this is pretty much the end. We got rid of that gantry. So they don't really have much left to rely on. They got the Behemoth, and all in all, it was a really good game. Like I said, had Destruction not quit, I think the game was in their favor. I'm not going to say they would have won, would have lost. I'm not going to make that decision, but the game was definitely in their favor with him there. I think he was slowly whittling us down. Especially with those teams. Dang. Twilight's bringing in energy. How much is he bringing in? Like 12,000. It's quite a bit. It's quite a bit. I'm gonna fast forward though. But yeah, the game was in their favor, and I definitely think they had a good chance at winning. We might have been able to stop it, but it didn't look like it. From what I was seeing at the time, they probably could have pushed OCD, especially after that Scuttle attack, and it would have been done. I didn't even know he was using Scuttles. This was a hectic battle. Vanguards are some of my favorite gantry units. They're not like amazing like a Juggernaut, but they look so cool. They're crawling toasters, for crying out loud. They're great when you pair them with stuff. What I've found that works for me is if you pair like a couple Vanguards with a Bantha, I find that works very well. The Bantha is beefy enough that he can take some fire and put out some damage, and then you've got like the Vanguards behind him to really just act as like heavy support fire. It works really well. If you got, Bolos coming out, I mean, that probably works better, but the Bolos don't really need a Vanguard. They don't really need him. Bolo v Bolo. Except there's two versus one. Bolos are really cool too. I really like just the design of bolos. And they take some hits. Like that behemoth is barely doing anything. I mean it is, but not nearly enough. Most of the gantry units will kill tier 2. Like if you can get gantry for somebody else, it's incredibly hard. If your enemy does have gantry, nuclear mines could work decently, I think. Penetrators on the arm side, you need a lot of them. You need a lot of them, but you could do that. Like a Bolo's 7,500 metal. I think a penetrator is like 1,000. You definitely need more than 8 to kill a Bolo. You need an army of them. But it's not the worst thing to use. Obviously, Annihilators and Doomsdays help. Usually what happens when you're getting assaulted by gantry units is you've got your commander cloaked, waiting, and he just deguns. And you pray he survives to kill the next one. Blades, wow, my voice cracked. Blades and Black Dawns from the advanced air. It's not going to work like amazingly against like the more heavily armored things, but they do put out decent enough damage to stop things, I think, if you've got them in force. How much do they cost? So Blade is 1,000. I don't know. I don't know. You don't see it a lot. Usually person gets gantry and you're just like, well, I guess that's that. But I feel like nuclear mines, like you could put up nuclear mines with a few different things. You could use a B mine layer. There's a mine layer turret. I think even like the combat engineers, they might only do medium mines. But they can, like, you put out enough nuclear mines. They're not expensive by any means. When you compare to what you were killing with them. That's not what I wanted. Those don't have mines anymore. That's been a long time. Who's got a B? I know he's got Bs. I think his Bs are dead. So we'll just keep going. How do I not have Bs? That was my gravest error in this game, was the fact that I went air and I really didn't utilize Bs. You always want to utilize Bs. It's just the thing to do if you have air. It's just the thing to do. You get so much build power from them. A nuclear mine is 128 metal, 7,500 energy. When you're considering your enemy is spending like 7,500 metal, you could put out so many nuclear mines for that. So many nuclear mines, and you're not going to need them all. You just make a nuclear minefield, and now those gantry units, they might not die to the first one, but depending on what it is, the second, the third, they'll probably die. I think that's the end of the game, though. Yeah, he had something left. But yeah, I mean, like I said, very, very good game. It was very fun. Crazy. We don't get 3 versus 3s all the time. Captain OCD and Destruction just recently started. I think that was their first game, which they played considerably well. When you consider Captain OCD was ahead on resources on our team for quite a while. And then, I mean, did way better than me. Twilight had a little more, but he got pretty trounced by those Timmies. And then Destruction was really pulling the weight on their team. I mean, before he crashed, he had what did I say, like 150 metal coming in. He had 2 Timmies. He was doing big things. So they played really well for their first game. Look at the metal here. The Setin and Magpie were a little bit behind. But overall, the metal between the teams was pretty even. And I think they were doing better stuff with it. I do think they were doing better stuff with it, because it definitely looked like they could have ended it. And that was funny too. There was that one point where if we had all just, simply worked together, either one of the teams probably could have dealt a crippling blow. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this game, and we will see you next time.